Alright, 1, what do you say?
16x squared minus 25.
True. 2?
9x squared minus 16.
True. 3?
4x squared plus 4x plus 1.
True. 4?
25x squared minus 60x plus 36.
True.
125x to the cube plus 245x squared plus 135x plus 27.
True.
343x to the cubed minus 196x squared plus 112x minus 64.
That's close.
I didn't have that.
Alright. Something close to that?
343x cubed minus 588x squared plus 336x minus 64.
True. What'd you forget? He said 343, 588, 336, and 64.
Do I have to multiply everything by 3?
The middle one's multiplied by 3. Yeah, so like on number 3, we doubled the middle. 4, we doubled the middle when we squared.
Okay.
5, we had to triple the 2 middles. 6, we triple the 2 middles.
Okay.
7.
21x squared minus 38x plus 16.
Let me see if it's you or I that made a mistake. Ah, I got one wrong. 38x in the middle is true.
Wait, what was the answer to 6?
6 was 343x cubed minus 588x squared plus 336x minus 64.
Okay.
8.
8x squared plus 59x plus 21.
True. 9.
15x squared minus 41x plus 28.
True.
20x to the 9th plus 28x to the 6th plus 25x to the 3rd plus 35.
True.
5x squared plus 14x minus 24.
True.
18x squared minus 54x plus 40.
True.
24x squared plus 74x plus 45.
True.
7x squared minus 71x plus 72.
True.
4x to the 5th plus 24x to the 3rd plus 6x squared plus 36.
True.
24x squared plus 16x minus 14.
True. Anybody need help with anything on the front to fine tune it at all? So much fun. Let's do it again. So to the back.
7x squared minus 60x plus 32.
True.
20x squared plus 53x plus 35.
True.
35x squared minus 86x plus 48.
True.
21x to the 12th plus 6x to the 7th plus 42x to the 5th plus 12.
True.
4x squared minus 2x minus 6.
True.
10x squared minus 41x plus 40.
True.
18x squared plus 57x plus 45.
True.
7x squared minus 53x plus 28.
True. Getting bigger now.
8x squared plus 40x to the 4th. Oh, wait.
8x.
Wait. Oh, 8x to the 5th.
Yes.
Plus 40x to the 4th. Plus 48x to the 3rd. Plus 60 squared. 6x squared. What's my
2
combined?
more.
Oh, plus 30x. Plus 36.
All true.
There we go.
26.
9x cubed plus 43x squared plus 44 minus 12.
44. Just the 44?
44x.
44x minus 12. That's true. 27?
7x cubed plus 34x squared plus 8x minus 64.
True.
4x cubed plus 35x squared plus 69x plus 35.
True. Then we go biggest of all.
X to the 4th plus 9x cubed plus 29x squared plus 39x plus 18.
True.
X to the 4th plus 7x to the 3rd plus 19x squared plus 27x plus 18.
Yep. Anybody need any troubleshooting help on a foiling extravaganza? Alright, then let's go in reverse. It's factoring day. Seniors, if you want to do this paper, it's worth 10 points. If
Should
you
we stop
by
the
end of
recording,
day,
or-
but it's not necessary. No, we can record that small gap. Factoring, here we go. Anybody remember what to do about 1?
Take out the GCF.
Take out the GCF. Who's a GCF there?
6
Yep.
y cubed
Yep.
z.
Yep. It has to be in everything. You take the lowest of each grouping. So the one grouping doesn't have x's, so you can't take x's, and then you take the lowest of each group. So 6, y to the third z out front, and then one group of parentheses. Who's in the parentheses?
3x squared z cubed
Yep.
minus 2y squared.
Correct. Anybody from Quiet World need help with GCF way? 2 to 8. If you can, you still take out a GCF first, but that only is possible on number 8. So 8, you'll do a GCF first. Otherwise, we're going to go 2 groups of parentheses. Does anybody need a reminder on rules for signs, how you choose the signs, and how you do that stuff? Let's just crush through 2 to 8, and I'll just wait for a minute while people do whatever they can, 2 to 8. If you get bored waiting, feel free to forge ahead to the second column, but just focus 2 to 8. Anybody want more wait time on the 2 to 8 zone? So let's just yell stuff. 2.
X minus 10, x plus 2.
Not quite.
X minus 2 and then x plus 10.
Yeah, we're going to go x plus 10 and x minus 2. That plus with the 8 is
Yeah.
responsible for taking the bigger sign.
Yeah.
3? Anybody?
Oh.
Yeah, anyone.
X minus 5 and x plus 4.
It is x minus 5, x plus 4. Anybody 4?
X minus 6, x minus 5.
It is x minus 6, x minus 5. 5's a little bit of an oddity.
X plus 6 squared.
It is x plus 6 squared. 6 is a little bit of an oddity called a difference of squares. So the difference of squares is when the power is even, when the sign's a minus, and when it's a square rootable number, you get 2 almost twin factors.
So 7 plus x, 7 minus x.
That's close.
X plus 7, x minus 7.
Yeah, just keep it in the order it was. X plus 7, x minus 7, because subtracting is sensitive to order. There's a few in the 11 and ish zone on the right column. There's a couple over there that are also differences of squares that we'll want to take on with that same kind of strategy. Just when we get into this 8 to 16 zone, it's going to factor and then go again. But 7, we would have to just do a guess check thing.
3x plus 5
Yep.
and x plus 2.
That's true. 8, GCF goes to the front.
6.
6, and then you'll get 2 sets of parentheses basically like the rest of them are once you get the 6 out of the way.
X plus 5, x plus 1.
Disagree?
X plus 3, x plus 2.
Yeah, 3, 2. If the 5, 6 are reversed, then
Oh, you're so right.
yeah. But 6, x plus 2, x plus 3. Anybody need help 1 to 8? 8, let's just talk out. So there's a strategy to factor in cubes. We did do that in Trig this year once with sines and cosines, but that was like 3 months ago. Can anybody still do 8?
Does it have something to do with x and a 4?
It is an x and a 4. Anybody brave on a sign there?
Plus.
Plus. So the first set of parentheses, you're going to go power divides by 3, so x, sign copies, so plus, cube root to 64, so that's 4. Then we do a second set of parentheses. How many terms in that one? Do you remember how many?
3.
It's going to have 3. And we're not going to look at the original problem anymore to build them the way we did the first one. We're going to build the second group just from the first group, looking at it. Beginning of that one
X squared.
is x squared. we do the x thing in the thing in x's position times itself, so x squared.
Is it 8x
No. Let's go sine next.
plus?
Gonna go minus, always different. Middle term, not 8x. It's just 4x. We're not gonna double it. We're just gonna multiply what we see.
Okay.
So 4x. Sine plus always 16 from 4 times 4. Question about the pattern? Okay, take 10 seconds. Try to do 10 without me coaching it one little baby step at a time. Same pattern. Never sure how long to wait. Anybody want me to wait some more?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll drop you a hint if you don't want to fish calculators out. 125s turn into 5s. 216s turn into 6s. My camera viewable like here-ish.
Hang on.
So I used to draw this on the board constantly. 2 squared and cubed, 3 squared and cubed, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got ahead of myself. 8, 9. If you want, make a picture of that. 10 would be 100 and 1,000, and the ones would just stay ones. But squares and cubes, you probably remember seeing that from Algebra 2 on the board like a lot of times when we did those problems. 10, anybody?
Is it 5x minus 6?
Yes.
And then 25x squared plus 30x plus 36?
Agreed. Anybody need a little coaching beyond what we heard from an answer? Okay. 11 starts off like 6. It's just a bigger version. How would it split at a first split? This is not going to be the final answer, but first split.
X squared plus 25, x squared minus 25.
It is x squared plus 25 and x squared minus 25. X squared plus 25 is a dead end. So that is in the answer.
And then it's x plus 25, x minus 25.
Try
Or
again.
5.
Fives.
It's 5.
Yeah. So grand total is x squared plus 25, that was a dead end. And then the x squared minus 25 splits how number 6 split to go x plus 5x minus 5. 12 also starts off how 11 did, like how 6 did. We're going to split it into 2 pairs that are almost twins. How's that one going to split?
Is it x to x cubed minus 1,000?
Yes.
X cubed plus 1,000?
Yes. Do either of those dead end and live forever, or do they both split some more?
They can both split.
They both split some more. Both x cubed plus 1,000 and x cubed minus 1,000 are just like number 8. Where 1,000 would have been coming from 10 if I had a little bit more boardroom to execute that. So you can either talk it out loud or wait till you have it and yell the whole thing. I don't care. There's going to be 4 sets of parentheses when you're done.
X plus 10, and then
Yes?
x squared minus 10x plus 100.
Yes?
And then x minus 10.
Yes?
X squared plus 10x plus 100.
Agreed. And you could have those in any order depending on what order you attack them, but there is an x plus a 10, there is an x minus a 10 from the 2 cubes. And then there's x squareds plus in one, minus in another, 10x with plus hundreds. Anybody need coached in 12? 13 is a thing called factoring by grouping. So you have 4 terms. So what you probably do first is check the first 2. Can you factor the first 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take out
An a.
an a, and in parentheses you'd be left with
X plus y.
x plus y. Then you go to the second group, and you take out
D.
D, and it leaves you in parentheses
X
x plus y, at which point you have great confidence you were doing something right because the parentheses
Are the same.
are the same. And so you're on a good track. So the answer will have two sets of parentheses. The one that you saw twice, x plus y, as well as a second set of parentheses that has the other stuff, namely
A plus D.
a plus d. So a plus d in one group, x plus y in the other. Anybody need more coaching? 13? 14, also factoring by grouping, but it's not a group of two versus a group of two. The misfit on this, who's the one like standalone misfit?
Y.
The y. So factor the first three like a group. The first three will factor kind of like number 5 factored.
X plus 7 squared.
It is x plus 7 squared. Now what you have is 1 square minus another square. It's now kind of like 6. You're going to go x plus 7 to start both groups in the final answer. For signs, one has a plus while the other has a minus in whatever order. And then the y squared just deteriorates into being
Y.
y and
Y.
y. So grand total, x plus 7 plus y and x plus 7 minus y, 2 groups. Anybody need coached up more on that? 15, you could try to do some kind of crazy factor by grouping thing, but what's it easier to do to 15? Just combine like terms. 16, you could try to do some kind of crazy factor by grouping thing, but it's going to be easier to combine like terms. And once you combine like terms, 15 and 16 become just like the 2 to 6-ish style problems. '15 theory?
X plus 3x minus 6.
Oh, gotcha again.
Switch the signs.
Yeah, the plus will take bigger always. 16, anybody?
X plus 4x plus 6.
Yes, yes. Anybody top 16? Then there's a thing called factor by completing the square. On this paper, only needing to factor, you could do 17 the way you did 2 to 6 if you were willing to be a disobedient student and ignore the directions. But unfortunately for you, I'm going to come and make sure you follow the directions and show enough work to prove you did it with this method. Because there are other settings where you have to factor with this method and there isn't a workaround. I'm not going to give you those problems today because that would make this progressively harder than it needs to be. But we do get stock factoring by completing the square. We got stock factoring by completing the square on circle day. When we did that circle worksheet, we were stuck. There was no way to factor it other than what we did with that. So factor by completing the square, here I go. We have to figure out what square this is close to. What square is this close to?
11.
It is. How do you get the 11?
Cut the 22 in half.
22 cut in half. Sign.
Plus.
Plus. This creates an x. That's close, but that number's wrong. That's not the right number for this to be a thing. How do you figure out what the number should be?
Square half.
Square the 11.
Is this 121?
It is 1.1. Now, you can't come in a math class or a math setting of any sort and just like change a number because you felt like it, unless you pay for it. So when we did this, we increased it by 1. So pay for that by,
Adding one to the other side.
well, we don't have another side. If there weren't equals, we would do something on the other side. But we don't even have an equals. So if we're going to add 1, we
Subtract
have to
one.
simultaneously subtract 1 in that same area, roughly. So we're looking at this. Something about that. Then we'll break this down the same way we basically did number 14. Number 14, we had a square minus a square.
So,
So
like
we have
x plus 11 minus 1.
x plus 11 minus a 1.
And then x plus 11 plus 1.
X plus 11 again plus a 1. The thing that got squared, we do twins. The thing with the minus, we do different signs, but otherwise twins. And then a small bit of cleanup.
X
plus 10, x plus 12.
Correct. If your only goal were to get here, there would have been easier ways to do that, I understand. But to have this skill, I'm just making you practice this skill. 18 is one step harder than that. What can you do 18 at the beginning? GCF. Take out 2. So when you take out the 2, do the process I did on the board with those smaller numbers that are left when the 2 comes out. Make sure the 2 makes it in your answer, and I'll wait 30 seconds, whatever you need, a minute, whatever.
How's the Caleb doing?
Caleb's really on fire today.
Really?
Yeah. He had like a perfect homework paper, just throwing it down.
Wow. Pretty good Caleb.
There's something different about him today, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But he seems like he's pretty much on fire.
This is like whenever he took my test for me.
He's having it seems like he wants to come out of his shell. You know how Caleb's a little bit in that social shell?
He's like
I
starting
feel
to
like
get there.
today he's really on the edge of just bursting out of the shell.
He probably has
Did you ever
to
see the Kool-Aid Man? I feel like he's like the Kool-Aid Man ready to burst out of his shell today, but he hasn't. He hasn't quite burst out yet. But he's really struggling to keep his full personality inside today more than usual.
Trying so hard not to laugh.
Man, Caleb, it must be a good day today.
People watching the video will be wondering what in the world we're talking about, but it's sort of like it's in the room joke kind of today going down.
Inside joke, inside
Yeah.
joke. Got to be there to be
How's
square.
Jack doing downstairs?
Yeah, pretty good actually. I told him to take over the Candyland, like the
The snacks.
All right, 18. So we got a 2. We got 2 groups. Anybody have them?
2x minus 4, x minus 12.
That's true and true. Anybody need any help with your factor and lifestyle?
Wait, what was the last answer?
The last answer is a 2, and then x minus 12 and x minus 4. Did you have an x minus 8 was your square?
No.
Okay.
You want to look at the...
Do you understand why I'm saying x minus 8 would be the square? Okay. When you took your 2 off, did you turn the 32 into a 16?
Oh, I turned it into an 18.
Yep.
There we go. Oops.
Now you're good?
Yeah.
All right.
Just need to redo
No
that.
way.
Anybody else need any little bit of coaching in the world of factoring? So shut down the old video.